Here's the deal. I will rank the coolness of every Marvel Rivals hero. The criteria for ranking are: number 1, coolness. Yeah, that's it. I just want to know who's the coolest. I don't care about damage or any of that nonsense. The rank will be based on all active abilities, including normal attacks and possible jumps, but no team-ups. Let's begin. Adam Warlock. Starting off the list with a Magic Man. Lots of yellow color, which is not the color one would usually associate with Warlocks. Maybe he's still a beginner, working his way up the color spectrum toward purple. Either way, pretty cool animations. Solid B tier. Black Panther. Much like actual panthers in the wilderness, this mighty warrior displays exceptional flight and spear throwing skills. I do wonder though, Wakanda suit is able to spawn a giant spectral cat. Looks like Tony Stark could definitely learn a thing or two. Kitty Cat will go to S tier. Black Widow. Some nunchuck action, some slick kicks, basic ninja stuff. Her gun has a pretty nice interface, and unfortunately that's about it. I suppose it's hard to keep up with literal gods as a half superhuman. But hey, at least she's trying and that's what matters. I will put her in the C tier for now. Captain America. Good old Cap and his magical frisbee. Honestly, I expected more. The abilities are pretty much what you see in the movies, nothing super flashy. The ultimate feels like a missed opportunity to have patriotic fireworks and the national anthem in the background. Steve goes to D tier. Cloak and Dagger. The dagger half has some nice bouncy lasers and a nice wall, but Cloak is the one doing the heavy lifting here. He gives the enemies the middle finger and then yeets off into the Shadow Realm. What a legend. Their ultimate ability looks like the scene at the end of the Harry Potter movies where Harry and Voldemort fly around Hogwarts while hugging each other. Pretty dank looking duo. A tier. Doctor Strange. Here we have another wizard, this time with orange being his favorite color. Most of his abilities seem very similar to Adam Warlock's, except Strange can open portals and grow a beard. The portal, I imagine, can be abused to hell and back, which can be pretty funny depending whether or not you're on the receiving end, of course. I'll put him at the B tier with the other wizard, Groot. Despite being a tanky boy, most of his attacks seem to be ranged. Groot would be pretty OP in Fortnite, cause he seems to be really into building walls. And the ultimate is a green orb? Groot, I'm sorry, but building walls won't get you higher than D on my list. Hawkeye. The token bowman character of the game. He basically just shoots different kinds of arrows. The devs also gave him a jump, which probably increases his survivability tenfold. His ultimate makes you colorblind, which seems more like a debuff than anything. Hanzo goes to C tier. Pretty underwhelming. Hela. The green evil spiky lady has 3 different ranged attacks, and when she's not being evil, she can turn into a bird. And for the ultimate, she becomes extra evil and gets to nuke absolutely everything in sight. Pretty simple and cool. She gets B tier. Hulk. Everyone's favorite roid rager. In his human form, he uses a Nerf gun and smoke bombs. But the real fun begins after he transforms. His arsenal includes melee attacks, a big slam jump, a shield ability, and a ranged projectile attack. Now that I think about it, that's exactly what Captain America has. But what he doesn't have is a second transformation, which is why Hulk gets a higher tier at C. Invisible Woman. Despite looking like Dagger's long-lost twin sister, they do in fact have different abilities. But this is where the lack of cloak becomes apparent and she's given Hawkeye's jump instead. Her ultimate doesn't really help her case either, as it's just a blue dome. I'll give her D. She looks appealing, but her abilities... Iron Fist. Another martial arts expert with a pretty sick kick. Sometimes he likes to become a levitating target practice. Sometimes he likes to cover himself in butter to be more slippery. And sometimes he even lights himself on fire, hoping to spread said fire to enemies by punching them. Basically just a lot of punching and not much else, which is why I'll put him in C. Iron Man. Everything's pretty on brand with Mr. Stark. Lots of lasers, rockets, and flying. Very sciencey, nothing too crazy, except for the mini nuke. My favorite thing about him is, without question, the ganja leaf, which gets him pretty high to B tier. Jeff the Land Shark, our first water-themed hero, a mobile fire hydrant. He spawns H2O bubbles for allies, a true hydro homie. But don't let the cute puppy vibes fool you, he's still an apex predator. He can eat your entire team and spit them out half digested. Although a simple character, I will put him at A tier due to the sheer amount of terror he is able to inflict. Loki. His bread and butter seems to be cloning himself and then doing things to those clones. Kinda like his own gang who he can team tag with. Loki's ultimate lets him become someone else for a brief period of time, meaning he can be both S tier and F tier inside one match, so I'll just put him in the middle, at B with the other wizards. Luna Snow. Living up to her name, she throws out icicles and snowballs. She gives me strong support vibes for some reason. Even her ult reminds me of that legendary Sona skin from League of Legends. I'm not sure how putting on a show in the middle of battle is supposed to help, but it does look pretty cool. I like the whole icy theme. I'll give her B tier. Magik. This hero wields a massive sword, which definitely looks too heavy for her. She's got some demon underworld thing going on, which allows her to spawn a little imp that is hopefully more threatening than it looks like. The ultimate grants access to demon form, which gives her an even heavier sword. You can see she even changes her grip to make dragging the sword easier. Despite clearly skipping shoulder day, she will get S tier cause she just looks super cool. Magneto. The world's most aggressive metal detector. Lots of shielding going on. I get a shield, you get a shield, everyone gets a shield. Magnet Man is such a Chad that he lets the enemies know before he sends forth a meteor to wreak havoc upon them. I feel like he's not quite S tier worthy, but still pretty metal. A tier. Mantis, a support hero that throws leaves and pink stinky bombs. I understand that not every hero needs to be flashy, but come on, give her more than a green glow. And she has no actual mantis traits, despite being named after one. I mean, could you imagine if she were able to bite off heads? That would be pretty crazy. Oh well. F tier. Mr. Fantastic. The basic attacks are stolen from Groot. If he does manage to land a few of them, he will become the Hulk. In his defense, who wouldn't want to be the Hulk, right? He can also turn into a square, which isn't exactly the coolest shape. The octagon is the coolest shape. Okay, am I the only one who saw that aggressive pelvic thrust? Battlefield is not the place for PDA, rubber man. Rounding up his kit, he has a triple dive slam, which would absolutely dominate the WWE. Pretty cool kit overall, I'll throw him in the B tier. Moon Knight, a shuriken throwing ninja type dude with a few mediocre mobility abilities. There's something about him that just doesn't sit right with me. Like the gliding. Why is it so slow? Is he trying to get killed? Is that why he has the angst to endlessly revive himself? It just feels like he's missing something. Call him a half moon knight if you will. And half moon is shaped like C, so I'll put him in the C tier. Namor. Unquestionably amazing trident throwing abilities, indubitably excellent marine life enslavement skills, and irrefutably magnificent waterbending prowess. What's not to like? Aquaman goes to B tier. Penny Parker. I don't know the lore, but this is what I imagine it would look like if Iron Man wanted to be Spider-Man. The whole kit is just minefields and yellow cyber nano webs or something. And then there's the Naruto run, which is definitely a choice, and my choice for this hero will be D tier. Psylocke. The regular attack is a pink magical buckshot coming from her wrists. She's also got some slick, quick, evasive maneuvers to dodge all them weeaboos. And to top it all off, a giant purple butterfly that lets the enemies know this is now her territory. Genuinely cool hero. S tier worthy in my book. Rocket Raccoon. He's packing some decent firepower with the machine gun, also some kind of a pokeball that spits out a flaming donut. The jetpack only lets him move horizontally, and his most powerful ability is some floating device that gives him a bunch of Reddit upvotes. Trash Panda will join a fellow guardian at F tier. Scarlet Witch. This spooky witch lady likes red, and instead of spikes, she likes to throw exploding balls. She can't turn into a bird, but she can still fly. For the ultimate, she doesn't throw bombs everywhere, but becomes a nuke herself. So a little bit different than Hela, but same. But a little different. B tier. Spider-Man. I already did a whole ass guide on how to dominate with Peter. He's hands down the king of parkour. The best web developer in the world, that's for sure. Crazy kicks and deadly punches, you better steer clear. Still not flashy enough for me, he'll get B tier. How? Like and subscribe. Squirrel Girl. Honestly, I'm not sure what's going on here. We got a chick shooting a slingshot, throwing a giant acorn that doesn't even explode, and enjoying a big nut in front of everybody. Her coolest ability is sending out a wave of squirrels that is supposed to hurt superhuman/godlike opponents. Now, I personally have never looked at a squirrel and thought, wow, what a cool animal. Cute is usually the word that comes to mind, but unfortunately this isn't a cuteness tier list. F tier. Star-Lord. My man only had enough money to buy half of an Iron Man suit. The torso part is missing, but that doesn't stop him from bodying everyone with his sick moves. I mean, just look at this ability. This alone is cooler than all the F tier heroes combined. As much as I hate playing against this hero, I have to admit he's got style. Mr. Lord goes to A tier. Storm. We got a weather forecast lady with 100% accuracy. Pretty good one, eh? She's got some low-key, boring lightning abilities. When I look at her, all I see is a levitating mantis, but in light blue. The only saving grace is the ulti, which raises her from F to D. The Punisher. He has a small gun, he has a big gun, he has the biggest gun, he can become the gun. And the zipline is useful, I guess. I played one game with him and his firepower is scary. Playing as the Punisher increases testosterone levels so much that by the time I finished the game, my patchy pubes had become a full beard. Well, it's back to normal now, because of Squirrel Girl. Frank Castle gets S tier. Thor. Abilities include swinging the hammer, throwing the hammer, pointing the hammer at the sky, and holding onto the hammer while it charges forward. Just the God of Thunder doing God of Thunder stuff. The ulti is pretty cool, but not exactly unique. And he doesn't even have his cape, which means I can't put him higher than C tier. Venom. He's pretty much Spider-Man, but way cooler. He's bigger and more muscular. He can tickle all your body parts at once. He also swings like Peter, but unlike Peter, he's not afraid to dive in and get dirty. Venom's ulti is one of my favorites. He becomes a puddle of slime and slides under people and then licks everyone in the area with his massive tongue. It's how you can tell he loves what he's doing. And I love what he's doing, so I will bestow upon him S tier. Winter Soldier. The man with the world's most expensive prosthetic. The vibranium arm is capable of all kinds of fun stuff. There's a zappy hook, a zappy energy ball, a zappy dash plus uppercut, and a zappy ground slam. There's something super creepy about his ulti where his arm turns into a squid-like formation. Ugh. Bucky Barnes B tier. Wolverine. For our last hero, we have everyone's favorite Logan. He has 3 abilities that let him leap forward to strike the enemies. He's all in, full offensive, just pure destruction. Or full inting, depending on your skill level. Yeah, not much else to say. He's a walking meat grinder with a pretty sweet yellow jacket. The coolness level is very obviously S tier. Ranking is done and I have 6 heroes in the S tier. Black Panther, Magik, Psylocke, the Punisher, Venom, and Wolverine. If I had to choose one of them as the single most marvelous rival, then it would be Venom. There's just something about him. I don't know if it's the tongue or the muscles or the fact that he's naked all the time. I've said too much. If you have any suggestions or modifications you would make to my list, please do let me know down in the comments so I can ban you from my channel. I'm just kidding. Thank you for watching. Either way, the world's most aggressive. Playing as the Punisher increases the